Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and today we're going to be finishing up the challenge of using the original Eeveelutions to beat the game Pokemon FireRed. Now, with this one, I'm both excited and kinda nervous about. Flareon is a bit more of a physical attacker, though its special isn't bad either. Its defense isn't great, and if we take a look at the moves, we learn some decent ones by level up. The problem is we don't get a stab move until level 16, just like the others, but again, we're a physical attacker. We have a decent access to TMs, but let's go ahead and do a quick review of the rules before we get into all that. I can only use Flareon in battle, though I can use other Pokemon outside of battle, only for HM use. I can use items outside of battle, and finally, you have to subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. Now, I know what you're thinking, a channel subscription pitch this early in the video? Well, think of it this way, it's out of the way. Anyway, with this, we go ahead and give the rival Squirtle, since that will likely be the hardest for us to face down the road. With our Flareon, we nickname it Hot Pocket to honor our Flareon in our first Twitch randomizer Nuzlocke. We move on. We have a serious nature that appears to be neutral gains, and the ability Flash Fire, which will up our fire moves when hit with a fire attack. Now, I could be wrong, but I have to assume that Blaine is about the only fire user in this game since fire breathers weren't invented yet. Though I think there are a couple burglars that may have fire types and gentlemen. But I don't think the ability is going to come in handy. To be honest, I typically hate abilities that require me to be attacked by a certain type to get any kind of use out of them because they're so situational. The lab rival battle goes about like you would expect with us tackling back and forth. Squirtle has just a couple damage output, but we're doing a little bit more damage. At the end of the day, we do pack a decent punch when it comes to attacks, so we're able to take it down. With the lab rival battle out of the way, we can start with the beginning game quests and then stare quietly at Viridian Forest. For every Eeveelution challenge so far, a grand total of 2, we've struggled with this forest, so I'm curious if this will be any different. And the answer is yes, it is a difference between night and day. With us having a pretty good attack stat, we're actually able to make our way through the forest with very little trouble. We get poisoned a couple times here and there, but for the most part, Flareon is able to take out the Weedles before they can poison them. After we make it through the forest, we go ahead and double back to face off against the rival, and by the time we face him, we're at level 9. Tackle does about a third, Pidgey responds back, and we take it out with about 23 HP to spare. With Squirtle, we just rinse and repeat the process, and Squirtle misses a tackle, which basically gives us the battle for free. With that out of the way, we go ahead and make our way to Pewter City, and one thing is similar from the prior runs. We are nowhere near being prepared for this gym. If we get perfect with misses due to Sand Attack and about 5 to 8 critical hits with Geodude, we could probably win, but then we would also have the same kind of luck needed against Brock. So with that being said, we go ahead and level up to 16 before facing off against Brock, and also being able to win the junior trainer fight. Brock starts off with Geodude, and Ember takes Geodude to a little above half and burns him. Thankfully, that means he hits very softly, and we take him to red next turn, and the burn takes him out. Onyx is next, and we do Ember again, and immediately burn again. That means Rock Tomb doesn't do too much, though it does lower our speed. It uses Bind, and the next Ember is a critical hit to bring it to red, and then the burn damage finishes it off. I'm not 100% sure if we would need the burn to win, because I don't know how much Rock Tomb would do otherwise. With the first gem out of the way, but having at least a stab move on our side, we can go ahead and move on. We grab the Dome Fossil, obviously, and then pop out near Cerulean. Now, I have to admit, I don't think we're ready to fight Misty either. Water Pulse is a devastating move this early in the game, and the fact that it also confuses and it's also stab, nah. We go ahead and go fight the rival instead. By the way, to anyone new to the channel or these type of runs, stab is same type attack bonus. I assume most people know what that is going in, but I'm trying to be better explaining these kind of things because I remember, for example, I was watching Team 4-Star do a Nuzlocke and they kept saying stab bonus, and I didn't know what that meant until they explained it about 30 episodes in. The rival starts out with sending out Pidgeotto, and we get hit with Quick Attack. Ember takes it to above half, and another brings it to red as it uses Gust. The next Ember takes it out. Next up is Squirtle, and we use Ember as it withdraws. We use Sand Attack. It hits Water Gun, and we use Sand Attack again as we switch to Ember and burn it. It doesn't hit us again before we do take it out. Abra can't fight back, so that's a one-shot. And then finally it's Rattata, who hits us all the way down to 6 HP before we take it out. Good news is, after that, we're basically able to steamroll our way through the next portion of the map. We take the time to level up, go through almost every trainer before making a first attempt at Misty. Fingers crossed. Now, I will say before fighting her that if needed, I can always go fight the people in the SSAM for further levels, but again, only if I have to. With Misty, she first sends out Staryu, and we begin using Ember as Staryu hardens up. When we get it to red, it begins recovering and does land a Water Pulse before ultimately going down. Starmie immediately wrecks us with Water Pulse upon coming out, and that's the end of the first attempt. Unfortunately, that's about how every single attempt ends, and just when I think it's time to head to the ship and level up, an idea comes to mind. Although we can't learn Earthquake like I'd prefer, we can learn Dig, so we battle the rocket, grab Dig, and then head back to Misty. Staryu we outspeed and Dig as it hardens, but we get a critical hit to take it down. With Starmie, Water Pulse doesn't quite do half or confuse us, as we dig and bring it below half. We live a second Water Pulse and don't get confused, so when we pop out like Naruto versus Neji, we're able to take it out and grab the second badge. Donning our fanciest of pants, we go to the St. Anne, and we go to see how we do against the rival. Pidgeotto's first, and Ember does a lot more than I thought, and burn it, meaning that we barely get tapped by Gust before taking it down. Wartortle's next, and scarier now with Water Gun, so we Sand Attack it as it withdraws. We use the Ember to test damage, then get hit with Water Gun. Hiding from our problems with Dig, we then take it below half. We continue the Dig strategy and take it down next turn. Raticate is next, and we use Ember to bring it to yellow as it misses Hyper Fang, then goes down. Kadabra is next, and is quite squishy, so we focus on that and Dig once more as it misses Confusion, and then thankfully goes down. We get the Trash Can puzzle first try, and then go to fight Surge. Voltorb is first, and we use Dig to take it down. Pikachu is out, and wanting to avoid static, we take it out with Ember instead. As Raichu comes out, it uses Double Team, and we hit with Ember. I assumed the following Quick Attack would be enough, but it only takes it to red, and we do get paralyzed. Surge heals, and we stay paralyzed for 2 turns as it begins Double Teaming. Between paralysis and Double Teams, we miss a decent amount of times, as Shockwave after Shockwave continues to rain down on us, taking us all the way down to 42 HP, before we finally break past all that, land a critical hit Quick Attack, and do manage to take it down. The next part of the game is us fumbling through the darkness of a cave and making it to Lavender Town, and then ignoring it entirely. We go to the game corner and square up against Giovanni for the first time. He can be scary, but this early and with us having Dig, it's not bad because I don't think he has access to Earthquake yet. Onyx only uses Rage during his one attack he gets, and then he goes down to a Dig and Flamethrower. Rhyhorn has awful special defense, and we take it to red with 1 Flamethrower, then down with Bite. Kangaskhan is last and uses Fake Out, and we take it to half with Flamethrower. Mega Punch, thanks to Rhyhorn lowering our defense, takes us all the way down to 14 HP before another Flamethrower takes it out to win the battle. That was a little bit closer than I had imagined, but not too bad overall. We do, however, forget to fight Erica like I've been trying to remember, and I do remember this about halfway back to Lavender Town, but ultimately decide to go ahead and take out the rival and complete the tower first. Pidgeotto's first, and we take it out immediately with a Flamethrower. Given our level lead, that's not super surprising. Even the Wartortle at level 25, I'm not too worried about. Flamethrower takes it below half, burns it, and it only withdraws before we take it out. Growlithe is third, and we swap to Dig despite the Intimidate, and take it out as well. Execute is next, and we can take it out with a flamethrower, and finally we have Kadabra that goes down to Bite. We complete the tower and then immediately head back to Erica, and Victory Bell is her first Pokemon that goes down to Flamethrower. We avoid learning Smog because the accuracy is horrendous, and then Tangela also falls. As you can see here with Vileplume also going down to a single Flamethrower, type advantage and a decently powerful move is everything in these solo challenges. Cycling Road, Fuchsia City, and the Safari Zone are the next things we have to deal with. We go through the different trainers of the gym before seeing how we do with Koga. Coughing goes down to a single Flamethrower, and that honestly makes me hopeful. But one of the tankier Pokemon, Muck, is next, and we take it to a little above half as it uses Minimize. We do another Flamethrower to bring it to a Sliver as Koga heals up. It uses Sludge to take about 40 HP, then Acid Armor, but we can take it out. Next is another Coughing that also goes down easily. And then last is Wheezing, and we get a critical hit with Flamethrower that knocks it out. I'm not sure if the crit mattered, but I'm also not gonna complain. With 5 gyms down and 3 to go, we can go to Silph Co, and that might be a bit of a problem. Especially now, given the fact that the rival has a bunch of evolved Pokemon, and the same can be said about Giovanni. But let's see how we do. The rival sends out a now fully evolved Pidgeot, and we take it to red, and Wing Attack does a bit of damage. We take it down with Quick Attack, and next up is Blastoise, as it uses Protect twice. When it stops, we can use Bite as it uses Water Gun. Dig does a little bit more, and then we can take it to red before Water Gun finishes us off. Now, this unfortunately leads to a decent amount of losses, and we just can't win the exchange with Blastoise. Thankfully, though, we're in a place with a decent amount of trainers, and also a few vitamins littered throughout the place, so we go ahead, fight some additional trainers, some vitamins, and then at level 50, we're back at the rival to try again. Pidgeot goes to red with Flamethrower and hits us with Wing Attack before going down. Blastoise we use Bite to make it flinch, and then take it to half with the next one as it retaliates with Water Gun. It spends some time protecting, but we take it to red not too long after. Bite finishes it off, and with Growlithe we outspeed and take it out with Dig. Same with the eggs as it goes down to a single Flamethrower. Next is Alakazam, and we use Bite to take it down and narrowly win the battle, which was way too close for comfort. This time, as we leave Silph Co and heal up, we actually remember to fight Sabrina. I don't know why the last couple challenges I've completely forgotten, but it's alright. Let's go ahead and see how we do. Sabrina first sends out Kadabra, and we use Bite to take it out. Not sure if we needed the crit, probably not. Mr. Mime is next, and we take it to red. It uses Barrier, and Sabrina heals up twice, but we do take it down as we keep chomping. We level up, and next up is Venomoth, who we hit hard with Flamethrower. Then last up is Alakazam, who is horrifying as it decides to Calm Mind, and we take it to half. Psychic deals a pretty decent chunk of damage, but we deal more and take it down to win the 6th badge. Now we can go ahead and make our way to Cinnabar, and a fairly simple trek through the Burnt Mansion. Now that we're so far into the game, I have to admit, I thought Flareon's attack stat would carry us more. The problem with that is that we don't have quite enough of a moveset to be able to grab anything that would be focusing on the physical attack side of thing. Dig is good, and at the end of the day, this is still going far better than I thought, but we're not quite at the hardest point of the game, but we are getting close. Blaine starts with Growlithe, who we take to half with Bite. Takedown doesn't do much, but it does do recoil damage that allows us to take it out. Ponyta goes to half, misses its attack, then goes down next turn. Rapidash is out and uses Fire Spin, which actually raises our attack, so we swap to Flamethrower to take it out. Arcanine goes to half with Flamethrower, hits us hard, and then we can take it out for another clean victory. Denying the Sevi Islands, we go back to Viridian and not stay locked outside for the first time in a few challenges because we actually remember to fight everybody and not be a complete fool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and try our hand at Giovanni. Giovanni first sends out Rhyhorn and we use Flamethrower, and Scary Face lowers our speed and we use Quick Attack as Giovanni heals up, and that does make it go down, though the crit I'm sure helped. Dugtrio is next, outspeeds us, hits us with Earthquake, and immediately knocks us out with a crit. So, that's not exactly what I'd planned, and unfortunately, that's almost every attempt. So we do go ahead, fight the different trainers around the gym, and that does let us level up a bit, and even then we still get tossed around. The problem is we have to be able to take out Rhyhorn in one shot, and also outspeed the Dugtrio, and it isn't until level 59 that we're able to do that, and we do end up taking it out. That essentially allows us to outspeed and now be able to mow down the rest of Giovanni's team with flamethrowers. While I know that one-shots aren't the most exciting thing to watch, our defense isn't great, so we need to take it out before these hard-hitting physical attackers can strike back. And with that being said, I realize that Bruno might be a problem, and that's embarrassing. With the pre-Elite Four rival fight, we take Pidgeot down to low red as it hits Wing Attack, then we take it down. Rhyhorn goes to a Sliver and uses Takedown, knocking itself out. Blastoise we bite as it uses Rain Dance, then we dig to waste a few turns of rain. Water Gun does hit hard and we take it to yellow, but then go down. Take 2, and the same can be said with Pidgeot and Rhyhorn, and we actually get the favorable damage roll with Rhyhorn to take it out. We use Flamethrower as Blastoise Rain Dances. We use Bite, and it actually flinches twice, allowing us to take it down. Growlithe goes down to a single dig, and the rain stops, allowing us to burn the eggs. Alakazam disables Flamethrower, which is fine because we bite it to take it to red, then knock it out with Quick Attack to win the battle. As we go through Victory Road, I have to say I'm nervous. Each battle, or each member I should say, has something that can wreck us. As a quick breakdown, Lorelei has a lot of hard-hitting water moves, Bruno has a lot of physical attackers and even some earthquake users, Agatha is pretty much always a gamble because she likes to do things like Hypnosis, Curse, and Toxic. Lance is just an absolute monster, but the Aerodactyl with Ancient Power is the biggest concern. And then finally, the rival has a Blastoise at the end with Hydro Pump. Overall, though, even with that standing in the way, Flareon has done pretty well for the challenge, so let's see how we do. Lorelei starts out by sending Dugong, and we try Flamethrower just to kind of test damage. Then we dig as Surf hits hard. We did try to Bite, just because we want to see if we can get a flinch or something to try and make it so we can move on. Sadly, we don't get that, and we get knocked out pretty quickly. From there, we try a lot of different times, and I mean a lot. We try with different moves like Iron Tail, we grab Return, we equip the Charcoal, and unfortunately, no matter what we're trying, it's not quite working out. We spend some time and level up, and at 65, Dugong goes to above half with Flamethrower and sets up Safeguard. Bite crits to take it to red, and then it gets healed up, as we use Return twice to take it out. Cloyster uses Protect, and we can take it down with a Flamethrower shortly afterwards. With Lapras, we're able to take it to half with Return, as it takes us to 52 HP with Surf, and the Berry heals it up. Bite makes it flinch, and then another Return takes it down. We can make Slowbro flinch with Bite, and go to half with one more Bite, then take it out next turn. And then with Jinx, we can use Return and take it out with one shot to finally be able to move on. Next up is Bruno, and he starts with Onix as we use Dig to avoid Rock Tomb. We take Onix to yellow, then Rock Tomb connects and lowers speed as we take it out. Hitmonchan goes to red with Flamethrower, but is hitting hard with Sky Uppercut. Bruno heals, then ends up swapping to Onix as we take it to yellow with Flamethrower, and then we immediately get KO'd by Earthquake. Unfortunately, the speed drop from Rock Tomb was enough to seal our fate, but now we know what we have to do. And unfortunately, that is leveling up. Our bad defense and bad speed is making this far harder than it needs to be, but with level 70, we take out Onix with Iron Tail. Hitmonchan goes to red with Flamethrower and heals up, then we use Return to take it down. Machamp we land a critical hit against to take it out. Onix thankfully gets smacked with Iron Tail, and then finally Hitmonlee is a one-shot as well, and that lets us move on. We tried this a few times at the first level that we attempted, and unfortunately, we just weren't doing enough damage with Iron Tail, or we weren't outspeeding the Onix, and Earthquake was just demolishing us. With Agatha, Agatha starts off with Gengar, and we knock it out with one Flamethrower. Golbat goes to red, hits us with Air Cutter and heals up as we knock it out. Arbok is a critical hit, one-hit wonder. The second Gengar does poison us with Sludge Bomb, but we managed to take it out. When Haunter comes out, we're lucky enough to be able to knock it out in one shot, because even with the level we're at, we only have 18 HP to spare to be able to move on. Last of the Elite Four is Lance, and I'm not going to waste your time. Gyarados is usually able to whittle us down or take us out entirely. Then behind that is an Aerodactyl that hits ridiculously hard with Ancient Power, and 10 times out of 10, Ancient Power is what takes us out. When we level up, it takes us all the way to level 90, and we can take Gyarados to yellow with 2 bites as Lance heals up. Another bite and a critical hit, and we are able to take it down. Aerodactyl still hits hard with Ancient Power, but we can take it down with a single Iron Tail. With Dragonite, Iron Tail takes it to about half, and it sets up Safeguard. We use Bite to chip away as it uses Wing Attack before an Iron Tail takes it out. Now the next 2 Pokemon are a huge gamble. Dragonair is nowhere near as tanky as Dragonite, but we have to rely on Iron Tail, a fairly inaccurate move, but thankfully both connect to take them down and at least win us the League Challenge, but we're not done yet. Final rival time. Pidgeot goes down to Flamethrower, and Rhydon goes down to Iron Tail. With Blastoise, we use Bite, and it misses Hydro Pump, so we take it out next turn with Return. Alakazam is a one-shot, and so is Executor. Arcanine uses Extreme Speed, as we use Bite. Arcanine uses another Extreme Speed, and we take it to Red. Then, Green heals up, and we actually repeat this process a little, as Extreme Speed takes us all the way down to 29 HP before we finally knock it out and barely win the battle, though it did take us 3 tries to do so. With that, that's another challenge done, and that's the final of the 3 original Eeveelutions. Out of all of them, I don't think it's a surprise to learn that Vaporeon was the best of the 3. When it comes to Lance, having ice moves is such a huge advantage given the bulky Dragonite. Overall, though, I had a lot of fun doing these. Now, I do have a lot of stuff going on in the next couple of weeks because at the time of recording this, we're quickly approaching September, and I'm setting up a 12-hour randomizer race charity stream with the Baby Rhino. Make sure to join the Discord if you want more info, or even if you just want to suggest another challenge run. We'll end up doing the other Eeveelutions for sure, but I want to do another Gen 1 favorite of mine with Slowpoke, so that's likely going to happen soon. I'm also working on a Garchomp run. I also just want to try beating the game with gym leaders, teams, and movesets, so as you can tell, I have a lot of plans, and thankfully, nothing but time, or very little time, I'm not sure. Either way, I hope you end up staying tuned, and as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.